What's the most annoying thing you see PokeTubers do? Now, that was something that I tweeted on the 31st of December because I was curious and a little bit interested as to what random people on the internet thought about the kind of group of people that a lot of people get clumped into, even though generalizing is generally not the best idea in the world. But I wanted to see what people thought the most annoying thing that a group does. And I chose the group that I'm a part of, which, by the way, if you did not know, while I'm not uploading incredible curry-related videos, I actually upload some Pokemon-related content from time to time as well. Well, I'm not streaming on twitch.tv/Fighterz at 11 a.m. EST every day, of course, link in the description. We're gonna go through these answers, and essentially I just want to read them. Maybe take on some constructive criticism, maybe dispute something or other that I hear a lot that doesn't really make sense to me from the perspective of a content creator, because I see a lot of people complaining about the PokeTubers and how annoying the PokeTubers are and how they all do this. When you look at actually what they're complaining about, and it's dumb and stupid, and not all of us do that, and it's just a few, or like one or two people, and it's a complete straw man that no one has ever seen before in their lives. So let's dive in, shall we? All right, I think the most annoying things you guys do is co-op/versus with the same people all the time. You guys could extend your reach by trying to do those run-throughs with other PokeTubers. Example, Fighterz and Dobbs. All right, fair, right? Obviously, when you have a group of friends, you are most likely to do projects with those friends, right? That just makes sense. But the only way that a collaborative series is gonna work is if you have chemistry with the person, right? You can't just grab a random person from the internet. And I have people asking me this all the time, why don't you do a playthrough with this? Why don't you do a project with this person? Why do you do this with this person? It's like, that sounds good in theory, but I don't really know that person all that well. It would be like trying to sit down with someone that you've never spoken together with in your life and trying to then bounce off of them when you know nothing about them to try and entertain a group of people. It's harder than you think, and it generally might not work out as well as you think either. Royal says, how many should I list? Overreact for a shiny? Always feel like they have to do a challenge run of a Pokemon game regardless of if they haven't played it before? Make sure to destroy that like button, subscribe, and follow on social media. All right, for the first one, overreact for a shiny. My perspective on this, and I try not to, play it up too much, but when you're doing a stream or when you're doing like a video or something like that, you want to not only give an authentic reaction to what's going on, but you also want to entertain in a way. So every time, personally for me, when I get a shiny, it's not like if I was shiny hunting in real life, I would sit there and scream and yell, because I wouldn't, obviously. It's a stream. The stream is for entertainment purposes. The excitement that you get from being there with the chat and getting that thing that you've searched for hours and hours and hours for, because you're on stream, because you're being broadcast, it gives you that energy to play up the reaction in a sense, because you want to, you want it to be entertaining. Now, I'm not saying that you should completely overreact and do backflips and jump out your window and, pull your eyeballs out and throw it at the nearest bystander. Obviously, I'm not saying that, but it is definitely there for entertainment purposes, so it is the genuine reaction from my point of view that's just been played up, so we can enjoy it more and enjoy the moment more with the chat room that's there. The second thing, always feeling like having to do a challenge run. Personally, I do a Nuzlocke of every new game that comes out. If you don't want me to do that, I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway because that's how I enjoy approaching new games. Everyone does a normal playthrough, and I just don't think that that's really that fun anymore. I've been playing Pokemon for 20 years or something like that. I just like having the challenge. I like having there be a bit of what's gonna happen next around every corner. Like in the Pokemon Sword Nuzlocke, I think doing a Nuzlocke of that game was a brilliant idea. It made it so much more enjoyable for me, and I think it made a much better series in the end, And the last thing, make sure to destroy that like button, subscribe, and follow on social media. It's a realistic depiction of how you have to be on YouTube, right? You have to constantly remind people, because if you remind people to destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm, which you should destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm, then people are more likely to destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And people are more likely to follow you on social media if you mention that my Twitter and Instagram and Twitch are in the description and you should go and follow me on them, because if you don't, you're an idiot. That's just a reality of the place. If you just have them there, then it's gonna be much lower engagement, and you need higher engagement if you want to grow. It's just how it is. Clickbait about fake leaks acting as if they're legitimate. I mean, personally, I haven't had any experience with this myself. I don't think I've done this. I don't think I've done this. Have I done this? I don't think I've done this. Obviously, I think that a lot of PokeTubers do kind of understand what is more likely to be legitimate and what is likely to not be legitimate. That's true. And it is essentially, it's a game in some ways. YouTube is like a game. And if you want to succeed at the game, you got to play the game by the game's rules. And people want to see things like potential leaks about what could happen. And some people really like discussing it. Like, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Some people really enjoy discussing potential leaks and things like that. But I will say at the same time, there is a lot of times where I look at something or I look at someone's video and be like, yeah, you know that's not got any chance of being real, don't you? But I have been wrong in the past as well. There's been lots of pictures and information where I'd looked at it on 4chan or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, of course, right. And then it turned out to actually be real. So at this point, how can we even know, you know? Lachlan says, post videos. Damn, that gets annoying. I just want to have an empty sub box. Thank you, Lachlan. Jamie Keane, one of the people that helped me in Draft League, says not clicking curse when they've drafted a Snorlax. So I just said that Z Thunder is way better than clicking curse on Snorlax, because obviously it is. Gigaball Havoc, let's go. Get this Skarmory out. Get this annoying son of a snaggletooth away from my area. Envious to see it talking about sleep locks. Honestly, if I were to do a sleep lock, I have such like a rigid sleep schedule. I would probably do one that starts at probably like 2 p.m. To be fair, the way the sleep locks go, it can either be over really quickly or it can take ages. I think Asteroid was one that did one for like 30 hours. I don't know how he managed that. I know Mo, when he used to do them, his used to go for like maybe like 20, 24 hours and things like that. It really comes down to how the game ends up going. So you can't really imagine in your head how long a sleep lock is gonna take. So I think 2 p.m. is probably like a good starting time, because if you get into a really bad situation and you need to do a lot of grinding or you need to restart the game, like that's gonna add hours and hours and hours. But of course you could get really lucky and that would reduce the amount of time that you have to spend playing the game. So I think it's better to be safe than sorry, because if you were to start at like 8 p.m., then there's a really high chance that you would never finish any of them, because it would just go way too long a lot of the times, and it would just be, you know, we wouldn't get very far. Wolfie says not doing hour-long intros, which I have to say, I watched Wolfie's hour-long intro to one of his draft leagues, and he does fantastic intros. Go and subscribe to Wolfie Glick. Forget the names of Pokemon, claim they don't know them. Claim they don't know them all, makes it seem like they're doing it solely because they know it's fairly easy success and they didn't bother to do research. Oh, and I hate when they spoil the games out right until release. If you slightly like Pokemon, YouTube will recommend it before you know the game is ruined for you. Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, the first point I don't agree with, because doing Pokemon on YouTube is not fairly easy success. It is a very, very small community, and it is incredibly hard to grow in this community. Incredibly hard to grow. So fairly easy success, that's bullshit. The second thing, yes, people spoil the games in the thumbnails, and it annoys me too. I hate it. I had a Tornadus spoiled for me in Sword and Shield, unfortunately. I had the champion for Sun and Moon spoiled for me, unfortunately, as well. Like, if you put spoilers in the thumbnails, go fuck yourself. Thank you very much. The BS fake reaction thumbnails and corresponding fake hype / overblown reactions to everything from deaths and Nuzlocke to shiny Pokemon particularly. Okay, so another overreaction to shiny Pokemon thing, all right? Particularly in low egg / encounter situations where hype has been properly built up. To be fair, all right, to be fair, if I get a shiny really quickly, that's pretty exciting. That is incredibly lucky. Like when I got a Sobble in 6 eggs, I was mind blown, because I hadn't had any hunts that were below like 100 encounters or like 200 encounters or 300 encounters at that point. So I was just like, oh my god, you know, that was crazy to me. In terms of like overreacting to deaths and Nuzlocks, it really depends on like how much investment you have in the series, I suppose, doesn't it? Because as the person recording the videos, I'm the one who sits down and sees every single second of every single video and then edits every single second and uploads every single second. So I've seen and been invested in the Nuzlocke probably a lot more than most people have. So when a Pokemon dies that I was really like a big fan of, I was like, yeah, I like this Pokemon a lot. Then, you know, I'm gonna play it up for a reaction, because obviously it's shit when a Pokemon dies like that, innit? When they know they're gonna get a shiny from a raid, put the code in and still react. Okay, I haven't seen this. That sounds funny though. I've never had a shiny from a raid before, but if you know it's guaranteed gonna be shiny and you're still like, oh my god, that's funny. I feel like most people, when they know it's gonna be a shiny, they wouldn't so much be surprised and play up the reaction as like a surprise reaction, but they'd play it up as an, oh damn, look, it's the shiny, look, there it is, it's crazy, okay, we're gonna catch it now kind of thing. More so than, what? I had no idea it was gonna be shiny. Oh my god! Not talking to everyone and checking everything? I mean, I guess, but from my perspective, I just run out of patience and I don't really want to talk to everyone in games, I'm gonna be honest. Probably the thumbnails, half of them look like they're so shocked their jaws are gonna fall off. Turn down the intensity, please. I get this. And I actually I love making fun of this kind of thing. I do it as well. I do the exact same thing, the kind of thing that all Pokemon YouTubers do. But the thing is, it's not just Pokemon YouTubers, it's just YouTube in general. Like, that's the meta right now for YouTubers to do the shocked reaction thumbnail or whatever in the thumbnail. I don't know why. I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. You'd be sitting here like, the best thing about it is that a lot of the thumbnail reaction pictures are like taken after the video or before the video. So you'll see for like Nintendo Direct reaction streams, a lot of people will have their reaction face in the thumbnail for the Nintendo Direct stream, but the Nintendo Direct hasn't happened yet. So there's no possible way to know if there's anything in that Nintendo Direct worth reacting to, but people will still have the face. Honestly, I think it's hilarious. I don't have any problem with it because I think it's really funny. When they're doing it, Nuzlocke aren't paying attention and leave a Mon in against a bad matchup. He gets killed by a super effective move and they scream, "What happened?" or something along those lines. Yeah, okay, I'm guilty of this as well. There does come a point in Nuzlocke where you kind of go on autopilot sometimes, not all the time. It's just sometimes, because when you're doing the same thing over and over again, and when you do like a bunch of battles in one episode, you kind of like, and you're trying to like make conversation, especially if you're doing a playthrough with someone else, you know, you're trying to pay attention to their screen, make conversation with them, pay attention to your screen. Like, there's a lot more going on in your head than you think. Sometimes you just kind of go onto autopilot and then you kind of like lose sense of where you are for a second and oh no, something died. Wait, what happened? Uh-oh. It's usually when you have the speed up button on, which I mean, I'm bad for spamming the speed up button. It does lead to a lot of deaths sometimes, but generally it's just due to my own stupidity, so. Or a critical hit or something like that. Dave just doesn't like shiny hunting for some reason, which is strange because you can just like not watch it if you don't like it. Using silhouettes in the thumbnail, which are really easy to identify, yeah. So a lot of people use like blurred things out because they're like, I don't want to spoil anything, I'm gonna blur things out, except they do a really shit job of blurring things out. So you can still see what the Pokemon is in the thumbnail. That I had a few like Sword and Shield Mons spoiled for me because of that. It's like, come on, man. You can still see what it is. What are you doing, man? Apologizing for playing something that isn't Pokemon. Just play what you want. Don't feel like you have to apologize for not playing the same game for the millionth time. Fair. Honestly, like, I mean, I've never apologized for not playing Pokemon, but sometimes I do get anxious about doing other things for content because I know there's gonna be less people in that stream because I'm primarily known for doing Pokemon stuff. But at the same time, I still want to do it, but it's not so much I feel bad like I need to apologize, but I do feel anxious about doing other kinds of content sometimes. But if you do want to see the kinds of content, I do stream a lot of other games on twitch.tv/Fighterz, which you should go and check out. Not giving small creators a chance. A lot of us have creative ideas that could come to fruition with a bit of guidance. I don't know what this means. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know if there is like a point where if you hit so many subscribers, you now enter the bigger creator zone and now you must guide smaller creators. Like, I'm just doing my job. I'm just making my stuff. I'm focusing on myself. If anything, I feel like you should be making your own chance, just like I did when I was a small creator. I started on 0 subscribers. It took me like 2 years. It took me a solid 2 years to get to 1,000 subscribers, I think, if that. And it has been a slow grind since then. I've been on YouTube for almost 10 years now on this one account. I started in 2011, so it's been like 9 years almost at this point. I think that giving small creators a chance, like, what does that? I don't know what that really means. Am I obligated to go around and message random small creators and be like, hey, let me feature you because you're small? Now, there are a lot of YouTubers who do that kind of thing. There are a lot of YouTubers who will raid small creators. There'll be a lot of YouTubers that do this and do that. Like, I try to support my friends mostly. When it comes to like raiding and stuff like that, I try to support people that I know are fantastic people and I know provide really good content that I think could use another bit of a boost, but I don't think blaming bigger YouTubers is the proper way to go about this, to be honest. Devin here doesn't like the can I beat this with only this, but realistically, again, that's just the current meta of YouTube, right? Like, YouTube goes through different metas in different areas of like Pokemon and just like in general. Like, there's always like a type of video that will blow up and do really well. Like, if you go into general YouTube, it's like eating only this for 24 hours. Or when they used to do the challenges where it's like, I let the person in front of me pick what I ate for 24 hours and things like that. Like right now, the meta is, can you beat this with only this, and doing like really specific challenge runs, which I actually think is a really cool idea and was really creative. And I'm interested to see what the next meta thing will be, because there's a lot of really creative things that you can do. And I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Johnstone, who does incredible challenge runs, who is the absolute god of challenge runs, I think, in my opinion. Go and subscribe to Johnstone. He's bloody brilliant. Oh, I got one. Now, keep in mind, I love watching many PokeTubers. What I find annoying is when they suddenly say, let's go, when they find a shiny or something good happens in game. Come on, why copy A-Drive's signature phrase? Make up your own. I think I catch myself saying this sometimes. I think this is more due to when you speak to someone very often, or when you listen to someone speak very often, you start to take on their vocabulary and the way that they talk. So if I were to log into an A-Drive stream and listen to A-Drive talk while I'm editing for a few hours, you know, when I go on stream, I might take on some of the things that he was saying because I was listening to him speak for so long. It just unconsciously works its way into your brain. So that's more like an unconscious thing, and I feel like everyone does that, especially when you're speaking to people. If you speak to people, for example, when I speak to my mom and dad, I speak with more of an accent because they have an accent. When I speak to people from America, I speak with more of an American accent because I don't know what it is. It's some unconscious thing in my head, but I change the way that I talk depending on who I'm talking to, and you also change the way that you speak depending on who you listen to as well. Intro moments, honestly, I just skip the moment when it rolls up because I've already seen it, and some people take it too far. An intro moment shouldn't last more than a couple minutes max, and there are some that 10 to 12 minutes? I have never seen that in my life. That feels like an over-exaggeration to me. 10 to 12 minutes? No one got time to edit something like that, in which a 25 to 30 minute video is a lot of time added to the fact. Intro moment is always something that happened in the video, so it's the same content playing for what is 2/3 of the video. I've never seen that. That seems like a massive over-exaggeration there. But at the same time, I see a lot of people kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of like on a tipping point with the intro moments right now, because again, that was the meta of what you should be doing for a Let's Play video, right? But at this point, I'm like, well, let me know what you think, actually. Let me know what you think of the intro moment thing. Do you enjoy them? Do you think they should be replaced with editing throughout the episode? What do you prefer? Because honestly, I'm at a point where, I mean, I didn't do any for the Pokemon Sword Nuzlocke, and I don't think anyone asked for them. Like, I don't think I saw a single comment through the entire Sword Nuzlocke like, where's the intro moment? So I don't think people really care all that much. But let me know what you think about the whole lack of an intro moment for Let's Play things. If you would like more editing throughout the episodes, because I do like doing editing throughout the episodes. That's always fun to me. And it lets you have more freedom in terms of like the actual editing of a video there. But yes, that is gonna be the video. There's a lot more that I could talk about, which I might talk about if you guys want like a sequel to this. Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much to our Twitch subs and YouTube members of the day. Remember, if you are a YouTube member or a Twitch subscriber, that both gives you access to the sub Discord, and I appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you so much, guys.